So next problem is the potentiometer wire AB shown in the figure is 40 centimeter long. Where should the free end of galvanometer be connected on AB so that the current through galvanometer shows zero deflection? So now I am drawing the potentiometer diagram here. This is the battery. Now here this is the potentiometer wire. So say A is end here, that is A, and this is B, A and B. Now, and there are two resistors here, one is 8 ohm and one is 12 ohm. This is 12 ohm resistor and that is 8 ohm resistor, and here there is a galvanometer and the jockey is there. Now the question is, where should the free end of galvanometer, here this one, where should the free end of galvanometer be connected on AB so that current going through the galvanometer shows zero deflection. So we know this is like a Wheatstone bridge because there is one resistor here, there is one more resistor here, and the potentiometer wire behaves like a resistor, and when you touch here, then this part of wire behaves like one resistor and that part of wire behaves like one more resistor. If resistance of this part of wire is X prime and resistance of that part of wire is X double prime, then there is a condition for balancing. That condition is 8 by X prime equals to 12 by X double prime. For this condition, you see no current through the galvanometer. So now 8 by X prime equals to 12 by X double prime. So we know X prime is resistance of wire left side and X double prime is resistance of the wire right side. So you can write down X prime. So let us write here X prime equals to, so resistivity of this wire is, let's say, rho, and L is length of this part by area of the wire. Similarly, X double prime will be equals to resistivity, and now I have given that the length of the potentiometer is 40 centimeter. So if this length is L, if that length is L, then remaining length becomes 40 minus L. So now here it will be 40 minus L by A, because A is common for because the wire is a single wire, so of uniform cross section area. So now from here you can say 8 by 12 equals to X prime by X double prime. So X prime by X double prime will be, now from here it is L by 40 minus L. So you can cancel this, you may get here 2 by 3, for this you get 2 by 3, then 2 by 3 equals to L by 40 minus L, that implies 80 minus 2L equals to 3L, that implies L equals to 80 by 5, that is 16 centimeters. So it means when your jockey touches the wire at 16 centimeter from A end, you get zero current through the galvanometer. So look at next question. Consider potentiometer circuit shown in the figure. So this is the potentiometer circuit. This is potentiometer circuit, and E is EMF of the battery connected to potentiometer, and R is internal resistance of the battery. Now length of the potentiometer wire is given as 600 centimeter, and resistance of the potentiometer wire is 15 times internal resistance of the battery. So say this is A and this is B. So resistance of the potentiometer wire is 15 R, and internal resistance of the battery is R, and E is EMF of the battery. Now consider potentiometer circuit as shown in the figure. The potentiometer wire is 600 centimeter long. At what distance from A should be jockey touch the wire to get zero deflection? So now jockey is connected here through the battery of EMF E by 2 and internal resistance small r, and this is the galvanometer, and through this one, let's say this is the jockey. So now question is, potentiometer, the length of the potentiometer wire is 600 centimeters, and it's connected to a battery of EMF E and with internal resistance smaller, and resistance of the wire is 15 R. Now I am connecting one more battery of EMF E by 2 and internal resistance R from A, and from here I am connecting a galvanometer and to jockey. Now the question is, where should this jockey touch this wire so that the current going through the galvanometer is 0? That is the question. So let us try to answer this. When you connect a battery of EMF E and internal resistance R to this potentiometer wire, then current will be established in this line, and that current will be EMF by total resistance of the wire. So total resistance of the wire is 15 R and internal resistance is smaller, then net resistance will be 16 R. So this is the current established in the circuit. Current established because this is a connecting wire and this is also a connecting wire with a negligible resistance, and only resistance of this wire is considered and internal resistance of the battery is considered. So I equals to E by 15 plus R, 15 plus 1, that is 16 times R. So this is what current going through this one. So because of this current, you see some voltage drop across A and B. Now voltage drop across A and B, let us write down that as V equals to I times R. So R is 15R into I is E by 16R. So now voltage across your potentiometer wire is 15 by 16 times E. This is the voltage across your wire. So from here you can define potential gradient. So potential gradient is defined as change in potential per unit length. Now length of the wire is 600 centimeter or 6 meter. So when you go from here to here, you see the potential drop, that is 15 by 16 E. This is the potential drop, and that happens for 6 meter length. So then potential gradient will be now voltage drop by length of the wire. So voltage drop is this part, that is 15 by 16 times E by, then length is 6 meters. So this will be equals to so you can cancel 15 and 6. Let us write down once again here, 15 by 16 into 6 E. So this implies your potential gradient will be now E by 0.4 volt per meter. This is the potential gradient. So it means if you move from here by 1 meter distance, you find this much potential drop. If you move from here by 1 meter distance, so this will be your gradient. Now if you move from here by distance L, then the potential drop will be pi times that L. So assume that when you touch this jockey at a distance L from here, assume that when you touch the jockey at a distance L from A, you got a balancing point. If you get a balancing point, it means there will be no current through the galvanometer. When there is no current through the galvanometer, then whatever potential drop across the battery will be equals to potential drop across these 2 points, because if there is no current, you don't see any potential drop across internal resistance, then EMF will be your potential drop across this and that point. Now if there is no current, it means that voltage drop here and here must be same. Then voltage drop here, we know that potential gradient is this. Now you are moving by distance L from here, then potential drop will be here. Then here potential drop will be, maybe let us say that point is C. Then you can write down VAC in this line equals to potential drop we know, and you are moving distance by distance L. So potential drop across A and C is pi times L. So that is E by 0.4 times L. This is the potential drop across A and B. A and C. Now the same potential drop you will see across these 2 points, across A and C in this line. So this one is potential drop across A and C in this direction, and the same potential drop you see along this line also, along this line. So when you look at potential drop along this line, then here potential drop is E by 2. Here potential drop is E by 2. And there is no current through this resistor, so then there will be no potential drop, and no potential drop, no potential drop. So these two equations, from these two equations, you can say E by 0.4 L equals to E by 2. So you can cancel E and E, then your length becomes this is 6.4. This is 6.4, not 0.4. This is 6.4, because when you cancel here 15 and 6, you get 0.4. So now this will be 6.4, 6.4, 6.4. Now you can cancel E and E, then your L becomes 6.4 by 2, that is 3.2 meter or 320 centimeter from A. So E can be cancelled, then L will be 6.4 by 2, that equals to 3.2 meter, that is 320 centimeter from A. So it means you can find balancing point at 320 centimeter from here. So L will be 320 centimeter. Now look at next question. Look at the circuit diagram. The circuit diagram is, there is a 2-volt battery and 10 ohm resistor, and there is a 20 ohm resistor, and now I am also connecting one capacitor of capacitance 6 microfarad. Now we need to find what is charge on this capacitor. So when you connect 2-volt battery across 2 resistors and there is one more capacitor here, so immediately current will flow through the circuit, even current will go through this line also. Then once capacitor gets charged, there will be no current going through this line. If there is no current going through this line, then net resistance of the circuit will be 10 plus 20, that is 30. Then current going through this line will be equals to, so total EMF is 2 by net resistance is 10 plus 20, that is 30. That equals to 1 by 15 ampere. This is what current going through this line. So once capacitor gets charged, there will be no current through this one, and whatever potential drop you see across this resistor, the same potential you see here also. Now through this resistor, current is 1 by 15 ampere, then voltage across this one will be now R times I, then R is 10, then I is 1 by 15, so it is 10 by 15 volt. So that is 2 by 3 volt. This is the voltage across this 10 ohm resistor, and you see the same voltage across this capacitor also. Now you can write Q equals to CV. Then C is 6 microfarad, 6 micro into voltage is 2 by 3, that implies Q equals to 4 microcoulomb. So 4 microcoulomb charge will appear on this capacitor. So consider the next circuit. Consider this circuit. So here this is 6 ohm resistor, and there is one more resistor here, say 4 ohm resistor here, and that is 2 ohm resistor, and the EMF of this battery is 2 volt, and capacitance of this capacitor is 2 microfarad. For this circuit, find current supplied by the battery in steady state. The question is, find out current supplied by the battery in steady state. In steady state, you see no variation in the current, but when capacitor gets charged, during the charging of the capacitor, you see some variation in the current, but once capacitor gets charged, then you don't see any variation in the current. That current you need to find. Once capacitor gets charged, there will not be any current through this line. If there is no current through this line, and this line will be inactive, and only current will be going through this line. So through this line, you see the total resistance, and here it is 6 ohm and here 2 ohm, and the EMF of the battery is 2 volt. If I is current going through this, then you can write down I equals to total EMF is 2 by net resistance of this loop is 2 plus 6, that is 8. So that is 1 by 4 ampere, or 0.25 ampere is the current, steady state current. And you can also find what is the charge on the capacitor. So to find charge on this capacitor, because there is no current through this line, then you find there is no voltage drop across this resistor. Then whatever voltage drop across the capacitor, that will be voltage across these 2 points. Because there is no current through this line, this resistor, then you find no voltage drop across this one. Then whatever voltage drop you see across this capacitor, the same voltage drop you will see between this point and that point, and that will be equals to voltage drop across these 6 ohm resistor. And we know current going through 6 ohm is 0.25 or 1 by 4. Then voltage drop across this one will be, you can even give that A and B. So now VAB equals to, if you go through this resistor, then VAB will be 6 times 1 by 4. 6 by 4, that is 3 by 2 volt. So you can also take VAB in this line. In this line, there is voltage drop across this capacitor, that is Q by C. Q by C. C is 2 micro. There is no voltage drop here, so 0. So that's all. So equate these two. Once you equate these two, then you get Q by 2 micro equals to 3 by 2, and that implies Q equals to, cancel 2 and 2, 3 microcoulomb. So 3 microcoulomb charge will appear on this capacitor. So consider one more question. In this, a parallel plate capacitor with a plate area 20 centimeters square and separation 1 mm is connected to a battery. The resistance of connecting wires, the resistance of the connecting or resistance of the circuit is 10 kilo ohm. Find the time constant of the circuit. So there is a parallel plate capacitor. So the plate area is 20 centimeters square and separation between two plates is given as 1 millimeter. Now these plates are connected to a battery and the wires, connecting wires, have got resistance that is 10 kilo ohm. Resistance of this one is 10 kilo ohm. Now we need to find what is the time constant of the circuit. Now we know the time constant of the circuit equals to CR, and C is capacitance of the capacitor, that is not given here directly. So that C is, for parallel plate capacitor, C is epsilon 0 A by D into R. So now time constant is epsilon 0 value is 8.85 into 10 power 10 power minus 12, and area of the plate is 20 centimeters square. It means 20 into 10 power minus 4 meters square by distance between two plates is 1 mm, that is 10 power minus 3 meter into resistance of the wire is 10 kilo ohm. So it means 10 power 4 ohm. So when you solve this, you can cancel 10 power minus 4 and 10 power 4. You can send this one here. You get a 10 power minus 16. So once you simplify this, you will get 10 power minus 4 can be cancelled. When it comes here, you get 10 power, this is minus 12 and this will be plus 3. So you get, once you solve this, once you simplify this, you get 0.18 microsecond is the answer. You will get 0.18 microsecond. Now look at one more question. A capacitor charged to 50 volt is discharged by connecting two plates by a wire. If potential drop across the plates drops to 1 volt in 10 millisecond, what will be the potential drop at 20 millisecond? So a capacitor is connected to a resistor, let us say, or a capacitor is first a capacitor is charged to 50 volt, let us say V0, that is initial potential drop across the capacitor, that is 50 volt, and is discharged by connecting these two plates. Then potential across the plates drops to 1 volt in 10 millisecond. So the potential drop across these plates drops to 1 volt at time t equals to 10 millisecond. Then what is the potential drop across the plates at time t equals to 20 millisecond? So this is the discharging of the capacitor. Now we know equation, that is Q equals to Q times e power minus t by t. So here t is time constant of the circuit and t is time period. So Q is a charge on the capacitor after time t and Q is initial charge when time t is 0. So when you divide this equation and that equation by C, because we know that Q equals to CV, that implies V equals to Q by C. So once you divide this by C and that by C, you get Q by C. That Q by C will be your voltage, that equals to Q by C, that will be your initial voltage, V0 times e power minus t by t. This is the equation you will get. So now from this equation, let us apply these conditions. So initial voltage is 50. So after 10 millisecond, the voltage drop is 1 volt. Let us take that. 1 volt equals to initial voltage is 50, then e power minus the t is 10 millisecond. Let us take 10 milli by t. So this implies e power minus 10 millisecond, you can take in millisecond, by t equals to 1 by 50 or 50 inverse. Then our aim is to find voltage across the capacitor at time t is 20 seconds. Let us apply that also here. So this is one equation, and second equation let us do here. So at time t is 20, you need to find voltage, then voltage you need to find, and initial voltage is again 50 volt, then e power minus at time t is 20 millisecond by t. So once you divide these two equations, or let us take this is first and that is second, let us take 2 by 1. If you take 2 by 1, then you get v equals to this by that, then 50 can be cancelled, then e power minus 20 millisecond by t by e power minus 10 millisecond by t. So this implies v equals to, then e power minus 10 millisecond by tau is 50 inverse. So let us write here, this is 50 inverse, and this one will be 50 power minus 2. So once you solve this, you get 1 by 50, that is 0.02 volt. So this will be the voltage drop across the capacitor after time t is 20 millisecond. Now the next question is, if a 5 microfarad capacitor having charge of 20 microcoulomb is discharged through a wire of resistance 5 ohm. Find heat dissipated in the wire between 25 to 50 microsecond after the connections are made. So let us take 5 microfarad capacitor. This is 5 microfarad capacitor is charged to 20 microcoulomb. So now charge that appears on the plates are 20 microcoulomb. So let us write down here 20 microcoulomb. Capacitor is charged to that point and is discharged through a wire of resistance 5 ohm. Find heat dissipated in the wire between 25 microsecond and 50 microsecond, because whenever the capacitor gets discharged, current will be flowing through this line. Whenever current is flowing through this line, you see some dissipation in this wire, and you want to find what is the dissipation in this wire between time t is 25 microsecond and t is 50 microsecond. That's the question. The initial charge on the capacitor is 20 microcoulomb and the capacitance of the capacitor is 5 microfarad. First you find what is time constant of the circuit. Time constant of the circuit is CR, that is here C is 5 microfarad and R is 5 ohm. So it is 25 microsecond will be your time constant, because 5 into 5 is 25, micro is 10 power minus 6, so micro, this is the time constant. Now let us see the charge on the capacitor after some time t. So that is q equals to q into e power minus t by t. So when you differentiate this, you get current, because the current is defined as a rate of flow of charge. Then I equals to q Then e power minus t by t, when you differentiate this part, you get minus 1 by t. That is I equals to q, then t is cr minus e power minus t by t. So this is current at time t is t. Now we know that heat dissipation is I square dt. Maybe heat dissipation dH equals to I square or dt. Sorry, I square or dt. Then heat dissipation, to find heat dissipation between time t is a t1 and t2, you have to integrate this. So you get I square or dt integration from t1 and t2. So that equals to I square means this square. So you get q square by c square r square, then r is there, then integral e power minus 2t by t into dt. This is what we get. So from t1 to t2, I have substituted I, this I here. So I square means q square c by c square r square, then e power minus 2t by t, and that r I kept here. So this is. So now integral of this will be, now let us write here, h will be, r can be cancelled, so you get q square by c square r. So when you integrate this part, you get e power minus 2t by t by minus 2 by t. This is the integration. Now apply boundary conditions. It's t1 and t2. So this equals to q square by c square r. You can bring this minus 2 here. Then let us write t. T is cr. Let us write here cr. Sorry, 2 will come here. 2 will come here. And now this t comes here. So that is cr. Then e power minus 2 t2 by t minus e power minus 2 t1 by t. So now h equals to, you can cancel r and c, so finally you get q square by 2c square. You can write down here, you can multiply this minus, you can take this minus here, so you get e power minus 2 t1 by t minus e power minus 2 t2 by t. So we know that the time constant is 25. Time constant is 25. Now time constant is 25 and t1 is also 25. You see here, time constant of the circuit is 25 and t1 is also 25, t2 is 50. So now you get here, this equals to q square by 2c into e power minus 2, because t1 and t, these t both are same, so you get minus 2 minus e power minus 2, and t2 is 50 and t1 is 25, so you get 2 once again, so the 2 into 2 you get 4. So now heat dissipation will be equals to, that q is given as 20 microcoulomb. See, that is the initial charge, that is 20 microcoulomb, and the capacitance of the capacitor is 5 microfarad. Now q is 20 microcoulomb, it is 20 square into 10 power minus 12 by capacitance of the capacitor is 5 microfarad into e power minus 2 minus e power minus 4. So once you simplify this, you get answer. that is 4.7 microjoule. This is the answer. So look at one more problem. So this is, I'm connecting two capacitors of capacitance C1 and C2, or I'm connecting C1 and C2 two capacitors in series, and then to a battery of EMF E, and say internal resistance of the battery is R, like this. Now we need to find charge that appears on each plate of the capacitor, let us say. So this will be like a CR circuit. For example, if I replace these two capacitors by a single capacitor of capacitance C, and now this is EMF E, and let's say internal resistance of the battery is R. Now C here equals to, C is effective or net capacitance of these two capacitors, and that C will be now, because both are connected in series, then C will be now C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. This is the net capacitance of the circuit. So now for this case, the charge that appears on the capacitor plate is, let us say at some point, let us say Q is the charge. If Q is the charge over the plates, let's say plus Q here and minus Q here, then voltage drop across this one will be, it will be Q by C. And if I is current going through the circuit at that time when charge is Q here, then here you get, because current will be going in this direction when charges are Q and minus Q, and current will be going in this direction. So voltage drop across this one is this, and voltage drop across here is plus IR, and that will be equals to E. And you can write down here I equals to dQ by dt. So you can write here Q by C plus I is dQ dt into R equals to E. So this implies dQ dt or dQ dt equals to E minus Q by C, that equals to EC minus Q by C, then dQ dt equals to EC minus Q by CR, that implies dQ by EC minus Q equals to 1 by CR dt. And here, as you, once you solve this equation, once you integrate this equation, so you get Q equals to Q times 1 minus e power minus t by t. And here t is the time constant of the circuit. The time constant of the circuit is given by C into R, and that C is C1 plus C2 by C1 plus C2. So C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 times R will be your time constant. And Q is maximum charge that appears on these two plates, and that you can also write down that as E into C, and C is again C1 plus C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. So this will be the maximum charge, and C is this part, and this will be time constant. So this will be the charge that appears on the capacitor plates. So now the next question is, a capacitor of capacitance 8 microfarad is connected to a battery of EMF 6 volt through a resistor of resistance 24 ohm. Find the current in the circuit just after connections are made, and one time constant after the connections are made. So a capacitor of capacitance 8 microfarad is connected to 6 volt through a resistance of 24 ohm. Find the current in the circuit just after connections are made. So we know this is the capacitor, and capacitor is connected to a battery of EMF 6 volt through a resistor of resistance 24 ohm, and the capacitance of the capacitor is 8 microfarad. So immediately current will flow through this, and this is like a charging of the battery. Then charge on the capacitor plate after some time, if you see, that will be Q equals to Q times 1 minus e power minus t by t, and t is here time constant, and the time constant for this circuit is CR, and C is 8 microfarad, and that is 24. Then time constant for this 8 into 24 microsecond, that is the time constant. So now we need to find current in the circuit immediately after connections are made. Then current is a differentiation of this, so that is Q, then 1 is 0, then for e power minus t by t, that is same. Then once again if you differentiate this, you get minus t by t, t will be 1. So this equals to Q by that minus minus cancel, then t is CR, or let us take C, and e power minus t by t. So now I becomes, at time t is 0, because immediately after connections are made t will be 0, so this becomes 1. So if that becomes 1, then total charge that appears on the capacitor plate is, there is maximum charge that appears on the capacitor plate is Q, that is Q equals to EC by this one is CR. So that is CC can be cancelled, then E is 6 by R is 24, that is 1 by 4, and that is 0.25 ampere. See, after one time constant, the current will be now, this is the maximum current, then maximum current by E, this is the maximum current, and maximum current by E, that is 0.25 by E, so that will be 0.09 ampere.